Welcome into this week's edition of Maverick Insider. The Minnesota State men's hockey team is fresh off a sweep over RPI. I'm Rob Clark, joined alongside head coach Luke Strand. Coach, one thing that really sticks out about this group, the power play is very strong for this team. What have you liked out of the way the group has been able to capitalize on all those opportunities this season?
Yeah, I think as individuals, they've done a good job. Even a lot of those guys are newcomers to our program that are excelling in it. I think when guys come here, whether it's as a freshman or a transfer, you're looking for opportunity, and they've taken advantage of it. I think Wardlow's done a really amazing job for me about finding balance between two groups, so they strike different. There's enough similarities between the two, but there's definitely been guys that have rotated in, and you got now Ralphie's quarterbacking one of the on the top of one. He hadn't been there before, and all they've done is score more since they've got it. Just simple things that I think have made it very interactive between the two.
And on the flip side of that, what would you like to see 5-on-5 play to manufacture more goals in production?
Well, we got to get greasier. We're going to have to get harder around the net. We got to do a little bit of dirty work on that side of it. I'd be more interested. Our scoring chances have been fine, but I'd like to get into seconds. I'd like to get into the rebound and who's going to get the shot, screen, tip, rebound, goal, and who's going to find themselves on a puck recovery. I think striking quicker. We're at a little bit of a new group identity crisis, a little bit, for the fact that we've got possession. Now can we get inside and get, manufacture goals?
As a coach, how would you assess his team's performance through the non-conference portion of the schedule?
Well, there's a blemish on there. You'd want that off there. That was our first game of the year where we lost. That was irritating, but there's been some growth internally. I know process-wise, if you just stuck to that side of it, I think we've accelerated now. We don't give up much. In the beginning, I felt like we were chasing the puck, not to give up anything. We've got that secured now. We've got to go back to the offensive side. So as far as wins and losses go, you don't want to lose any. So there's a tick there, but it's prepared us now for our conference play, which should be strong.
You mentioned conference play as we transition into CCHA. You played some talented teams non-conference-wise, but what really changes as we get into these CCHA games?
Yeah, I think you find rivalries, right? You've got each other. There's already a history, and I remember the last time you played. It doesn't matter on the roster changeover. They're gonna remember our last game. We get into St. Thomas. I think our league is better than people give it credit for. Depth, like as far as the way how hard the league is, inches are hard around there. I think teams have done a nice job with building and maybe assembling teams that probably look a little bit like Minnesota State as far as the fabrication of how you build it with enough skill, size, speed. And guys have done a really nice job. You walk, St. Thomas got a brand new arena. That attracted. They're going to switch leagues. That attracted people. Well, our job is to make sure we work hard to stay on top.
And when you look at that St. Thomas series coming up this weekend, what will that really come down to? And I know it is a little bit different than what we typically see because you've got the road trip and then you come back home for the second half of that series.
Yeah, the home and home, you enjoy it because it's probably good. Now that we've tasted home, I don't know if we ever want to leave here again. It's so great to be back, but I think the familiarity, you play the same team back-to-back nights inside of a series. The conference points are big things. You're looking down the road, telescope. You're looking at NCAA. You're trying to continue to stay on top. Everybody that everyone beats in our league is so the tightness and the parity is so hard that if you have a chance to get points, you need to take advantage of them. And they're not asking how all the time. They're going to ask how many. So you got to make sure you scratch and claw.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me, Coach.
You bet.
We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.